Welcome back to Smash and welcome back to Hyrule. Starting off, we have Matthew from the Golden Sun series. I have had a few missteps previously vis-a-vis Golden Sun Spirits, but just to clear things up, Matthew is the son of Isaac and Jenna and the main protagonist of Golden Sun 3, or Dark Dawn as it's called. Over here, we have Calamity Ganon, the final form of Ganondorf in any respect, as he appears in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Calamity Ganon is an apocalypse-bringing, fully monstrous form of Ganon, and it has no remnant of humanity left in it. It is just a giant, terrifying, monstrous beast. So, yeah, all of Breath of the Wild is about navigating a post-apocalyptic world, which has essentially faced Calamity Ganon's wrath. And yes, all of the bosses in that game are different incarnations of Calamity Ganon. He is that all-encompassing and terrifying. And for that reason, we have two Zeldas taking him on right now. Eat shit, Calamity Ganon. I'm gonna wave you away. I'm gonna taunt you away. So, that is that. Moving on, up here, we have Metagross. Metagross, introduced in Gen 3, evolved form of Beldum and Metang, is a Steel and Psychic type supercomputer Pokemon. The first pseudo-legendary that isn't draconic or dinosaur-like in its design. And, yeah, Metagross is a fucking nightmare of a Pokemon. The fact that it also has a Mega Evolution that makes it even more powerful feels like overkill. So, moving on from there, the next spirit we have is Frey and Freya, the protagonists of Zangeki no Reginleaf. And no idea how to say that. This was a Japan-exclusive Wii action game, a Norse-themed one at that, in which you played as a pair of giant slayers. So to represent that, I'm a giant, which makes this fight comically easy. Being a giant in Smash is very OP, so yeah. Anyway, can't progress up that way yet because of the Veil of Darkness. So yeah, I actually do need to go and retrieve that Master Sword. Now that I have both Young Link and Zelda, I can go down there and pick up the sword that allows me to smite evil in all of its incarnations, even if it is immortal. So let's run down and get that Master Sword. Down this way. Oh boy, this is a long dungeon compared to the previous ones. Alright, well, oh! Cloud Strife! Cloud Strife is trying to steal Link's Master Sword. Can't be having that. You already have a Buster Sword, it's plenty big, you greedy man. So, yeah, this is Cloud Strife, the main protagonist of Final Fantasy VII. He was introduced into Smash as DLC for Smash 4. And easily the most hype reveal ever in Smash history, because, like, Cloud was up there with Goku in terms of character who will, you know, they'll never be in Smash because that wouldn't make sense. Cloud, in particular, has never even appeared on a Nintendo console, not counting cameo appearances in Final Fantasy Tactics. And yet here we are! Cloud got in to represent the entirety of the Final Fantasy series, and yeah, he fucking rules in Smash Brothers. He basically revolves around the Limit Break feature from Final Fantasy VII. This was a feature where, you know, during battle, if you took damage, and the battle went on for so long, you could pull out a special attack. The way it works for Cloud here is that when his Limit Break, or his Limit Gauge is high enough, all of his special moves, his B moves, get super buffed into potentially killing moves. Especially his down B, which serves as a very easy insta-kill. So yeah, professional Cloud players, or at least competent Cloud players, can be very, very scary. Let's steal that Master Sword now. With the sword blessed by the goddess Hylia, we can cut through the darkness. And with that, we can go collect the final piece of the Triforce, which, assumingly, is being guarded by Ganondorf. I love that the Legend of Zelda theme has started playing over that, and I'm sad that it immediately fades out as soon as you leave. I kind of wanted to just stand there and take in the Zelda theme playing in a very, like, Link to the Past-esque fashion, so... Alright, yep, we already did that. Let's take on Mega Mewtwo Y. This is one of the 2 Mega Evolutions of Mewtwo, the other being Mega Mewtwo X. Mega Mewtwo Y is actually smaller than Mewtwo and physically weaker than Mewtwo, but it makes up for this by having far more devastating psychic powers. Mega Mewtwo Y is absolutely horrifying to battle against in any kind of competitive environment, even if you have a team of legendaries yourself. It is the ultimate glass cannon, so yeah, y'all gotta be careful of that. And in Smash, Mega Mewtwo Y serves as Mewtwo's final smash, teleporting in to use a Side Strike ability and wipe everybody the F out. So yeah, as it stands, I just gotta try and get myself a couple of clean hits, and do so quick enough that Mewtwo doesn't get another final smash, because I don't think I could take many more of those. Pretty goddamn awkward to dodge. Granted, I could just retreat down to the bottom part of this level, but I kind of forgot that we're playing on this version of the stage, so yeah. Anyway, there goes you. And moving on, closer towards Ganondorf. Oh, treasure chest. Don't think I didn't spot you there, hiding in the open like that. Moving up here, we have Mecha Fiora. So, in Xenoblade, after a certain point in the game, Fiora is actually kidnapped by the leader of the Mechonis and is turned into a half-human, half-Mechon hybrid Mecha Fiora. So, yeah, for this stage, we have her teaming up with Shulk to take me on. And like many 4-star spirits where you're against JRPG characters, this makes you feel the burn of being an enemy in a JRPG, where your enemies are in perfect sync and kicking the shit out of you. The stage, in particular as well, even though it is from Kid Icarus, is representing Galahad Fortress, which is where Fiora is found after she's kidnapped. Another point is that Mecha Fiora actually does appear in Shulk's Chain Attack, his final smash, along with Dunban and Ricky, so now we have all of their spirits. And, oh, hello, here comes the meteor. Stage is about to change. And I am just... Look how little damage I'm doing! Look how much damage I've taken! Like, I'm actually having a decent exchange of blows here compared to some of my runs on this. And even still, I'm struggling. So I'm gonna call upon the power of cheese. And, yeah, I'm just gonna get a quick, easy victory. An unearned victory out of this one. As that is the only way. There we go. Just knock you both off of the edge. That's what happens when you don't set your stages on Final Destination. You get ponked off the edge easily. Alright, so moving on from there, next spirit is Akira, the main protagonist of Virtua Fighter, a Sega-owned fighting series with adorably polygonal characters. What's less adorable is this fight. This is like playing a tag team fighting game with one fighter. It feels a little unfair. So trying again, just going in for my blows when it's safe to do so. Fucking hell. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, this is gonna be the one. Yeah! I don't care if I only have 3 HP left. You're not getting back on this stage, motherfucker. Yeah! Alright. That one took me a couple of whacks, not gonna lie. That was 2 very difficult ones in a row. What we got here? 440, another time. Alright, we'll have to go do that in a moment. First, here is Bowser Jr., along with all of the Koopalings as his alt costumes. Introduced in Smash 4, into the Smash series, of course. Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings ride around exclusively in their clown car, making them very unique in how they play. They're like heavy or mid to heavy characters, And they're very weighty, but they're also very quick and prone to jab attacks. So, yeah, they can be very irritating to fight against. And the fact that they are so many different characters taking up one slot is fascinating, considering the only other characters who kind of do that are Olimar and Alf, who share the same character slot despite being echoes of each other. So, yeah. Anyway, moving on from that random little aside, the actual Bowser Jr. was introduced in Mario Sunshine. He was the main antagonist of that game, Bowser aside. And in that game, he framed Mario by taking on the form of Shadow Mario, which, incidentally, is his final smash. Shadow Mario appears, does a little bit of painting on the screen, and you get damaged by the fourth wall being painted. So, depending on how the camera moves, that affects how much damage you take, and that is... It's a weird final smash. I don't know how to maximize it or make the most of it, but I'm sure Bowser Jr. players know what they're doing, or any of the Koopalings, they know what they're doing. So, 440. That's not 440. That's not how clocks do. David, that's not how clocks do. You have forgotten how to time. There you go. That's 440. That's embarrassing. Why did that take me so long? Alright, here we have Me Brawler. Nice generic character. It is Man Who Punch. And you can customize Man Who Punch to turn him into all different incarnations of Man Who Punch. Some of the best Me Brawlers I've seen have included Peter Griffin, Hank Hill, Garfield, a good few Homer Simpsons, actually. Some very good Homer Simpsons. Yeah, you could make anybody with him. So, yeah. In terms of the actual usability of the character, though, their customizability makes them very unpredictable. And, yeah, some of their moves can be absolutely devastating if you are neglectful enough to let them land. Very blockable, but very punishing if you're not paying attention. So, yeah. That is the Me Brawlers whole deal. Moving back up here again, lots of back and forthing today. We have the T-Rex. So, this is a fire-type Vivasaur from Fossil Fighters. I think I actually did show it in brief previously as a potential evolution or stronger version of Nibbles. So, yeah, this be the T-Rex. It's a T-Rex. This particular spirit does play into a fusion that I definitely want to get done at some point. So, very important that I get this one. The only difficulty is I didn't actually put on a fire-resistant spirit, so I'm trying to conduct this entire battle off of these platforms. Not the wisest of my choices, but got away with it, so it's fine. And that is the T-Rex. Up here, we have Fortitudo. So Fortitudo is one of the cardinal virtues, one of the main enemies appearing in the first Bayonetta game. Fortitudo ultimately wants to resurrect the creator, Jubileus, who is basically Bayonetta's take on God. A sexy, sexy god. And yeah, that stage there was the clock tower, which in the opening of Bayonetta is destroyed by Fortitudo. Here is Elena. This is a counterpart to the Aeron battle. Elena is the damsel of distress. The damsel in distress who appears in Pandora's Tower, who is slowly turning into a monster. So you have to travel through the game as Aeron, picking up monster meats to feed her to stave off her monstrous form. That's why in this battle, if she picks up any of the meats that spawn in, she becomes super powerful. So yeah, didn't let that happen. Here is Vati. Vati is possibly the biggest threat in Hyrule outside of Demise or Ganondorf. Vati is an evil wizard appearing in quite a few different Zelda games. And yeah, in most of the times we see Vati, he takes the form of this terrifying eyeball monster. So that's why we have the purple Ridley with the Ore Club to get across the overall Vati aesthetic. And the winds are also here because Vati is very, very fond of wind magic. Uses quite a lot of it to blow you around and such. So yeah, that's Vati for you. This stage is very, very exploitable. So all I have to do is finish this fool off. Come on now. Come on. Oh, fucking... Stop taking off the weird little green building. I hate that. There we go. All or nothing, motherfucker. Alright. So, up at the top here, of course, as I said, we have Ganondorf, the representative of the Triforce of Power, and also the evil bastard who threatens all of Hyrule. So yeah, Ganondorf is the main antagonist of most of the Zelda series. If not Ganondorf, then his bestial form, Ganon, in which he appears as a big pig monster. And if not Ganon, then Calamity Ganon, who is a whole other kettle of fish. So yeah, I kind of love this fight I'm doing right now in particular, because granted I am being the Link's Awakening Link right now, but Toon Link actually arguably gets the best Ganondorf kill by flinging himself into the air and stabbing the motherfucker in the brain and turning him into stone. Holy shit, it was cool. So yeah, very brutal for what is argued to be the most cartoony game in the series. But that's just how you do with Ganondorf. No mercy for him. He basically is a reincarnation of Demise's hatred, and he's destined to return forever and to never die, so why not stab the fool in the head? Anyway, speaking of Ganon, there's Ganon, our boss for this area, so we're gonna have to work our way back over there, but first, a couple of battles I missed. Here is the Dark Emperor. The Dark Emperor is the final boss of Street Pass Quest 2, or as it's called in the States, Find Me 2. So, yeah, this was a Street Pass game for the Nintendo 3DS, in which you had to go on a big D&D-like questing adventure with all the people who you've passed with your 3DS. And at the very end of it, you have to save the king, who is represented by your me, from this Dark Emperor. So yeah, for this stage, the Dark Emperor is actually there as well in the background, thankfully not intervening as much as it could be, because that would be a pain in the dick. And yeah, it's a good thing I'm doing so well on this, because that final smash would have absolutely ended me if not. There we go. Fun fact about the Street Pass games, I didn't know they were free, and I didn't know they came with every 3DS for free. So I didn't realise that I've had all of them all this time, and I've never played them, and I'm annoyed at myself for that, because no one plays 3DSs anymore, so now it's a moot point. I can't really Street Pass very much. Whoops. I missed that whole thing. Anyway, getting across my little personal gripes, here we have Camus. Camus is a legendary warrior appearing in all of the classic Fire Emblem games. Not only the Marth games, but also Fire Emblem Gaiden. He essentially travels across the lands and allies himself with different armies willy-nilly, doing so under different pseudonyms, some of those being Zeke and Sirius. There's so much to that character, it's a shame I killed him so quickly. Here is Tak. Tak is an enemy appearing in Kirby Superstar who is a thief. And Kirby, upon absorbing Tak and stealing his ability, gains the ability to steal enemies' abilities. Now I want you to dissect the thing I just said. Just really think about the thing I just said. Yeah, Tak's the most pointless thing in all of Kirby Superstar. Like, literally so pointless. I guess his only function as an enemy is that he can steal the ability you currently have equipped from you. And that's a pain in the dick. But you can then steal it back from him, so whatever. Yeah. Anyway, the reason we're battling on the Great Cave Offensive right now is because in Kirby Superstar, that is where you first bump into Tak. And yeah, this fight isn't too tricky. Just make sure not to hit the lava if you go over 100 damage. There we are. Over here is Urbosa, another one of the champions from Breath of the Wild, who herself fell to Thunderblight Ganon, the most fucking irritating of the Calamity Ganon forms, in my personal opinion, so yeah. Anyway, Bosa, much like Ganondorf himself, is a member of the Gerudo tribe. She's incredibly close to Zelda, almost having a protective maternal kind of dynamic with her, similar to Impa in previous Zelda games. And yeah, upon completing her quest line, you learn a Bosa's Fury, which allows you to turn one of your charged spin attacks into an incredibly powerful AoE lightning attack. And that is represented by the currently electric floor. Anyway, this battle went on for a little too long, so down you go, Bosa. Sorry about that. You're a great character and I'm sad you died. Here is Dragonite, the final form of Dratini and Dragonair, and currently a member of Ash Ketchum's Pokemon team in the Sword and Shield series, believe it or not. Dragonite is the only fully evolved Dragon-type Pokemon in the first generation of Pokemon, and he's incredibly fucking powerful, being the first pseudo-legendary. In Gen 1 in particular, Dragonite could learn Thunder Wave and Wrap. Two moves that in tandem with Gen 1 mechanics were pretty unstoppable. So, yeah. That big doofy dragon is super OP. Here is a Chozo statue. Samus Aran, after losing her family, was raised by the Chozo and gifted her incredibly potent power suit by them. And throughout the Metroid games, you can run into Chozo statues, which themselves hold upgrades for her suit. Basically their last gift to her before their own race was decimated by Ridley and the Space Pirates. So yeah, over here we have Tethu. Tethu is the male protagonist of the game Ever Oasis. I previously discussed this game when we bumped into the Esna Spirit, but once again, it starred Tethu, a young seedling who basically works with Esna to bring water and life to a barren desert wasteland. And that was disgusting. I apologize for that. Wow. Actually, I'm not that sorry. I just used what I was given. It was the game providing the bullshit there. Anyway, I did check with one of the owl statues, and they told me to investigate this chest. And doing so gets me over here, finally. Here is Chrom, the main protagonist, aside from your avatar character, of Fire Emblem Awakening. Chrom is a descendant of Marth, hence why he also wields the Falchion. And he is the father of both Lucina and whichever other time-traveling kid corresponds to the woman he marries. There is a set point in the game where Chrom is forced to marry whoever he's closest to, just so that the Lucina plotline can actually take place. So, yeah. I ship him with Girl Robin. Fuck! Alright, this will be the one. Just had a little clumsy one there. Just a clumsy one. God damn it! Okay, Chrom, your turn for an embarrassing death. There we go. Got him. Eventually. Clumsily. What's done is done. So, let's head back over this way. I'm pretty sure that is everything. So, let's go take on Ganon, the King of Darkness. This is Ganon as he appears in The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time as the final boss. So yeah, that makes it all the more fitting that I take him on with Zelda from the very same game. And not to spoil anything, but Zelda absolutely trivializes this fight, absolutely makes a fucking mockery of Ganon. Ganon's whole thing is that you can only attack his tail, and for most characters, that's quite an inconvenience. You have to maneuver yourself around his big dang body, or wait for those openings where he swings his tail towards you. Zelda can teleport. Zelda can teleport directly onto the tail, damaging it. So, all the would-be difficulty of this fight just kinda fades away when she enters the fray. And that feels fitting, because in almost all of the 3D Zeldas where you fight Ganondorf, you usually do so with Zelda by your side, assisting you, either by bestowing your arrows with the power of lights, or she'll use her magic to slow Ganondorf down, or pin him down, or directly damage him. So, yeah, Zelda just straight up hard counters Ganon, making this fight a little bit of a cakewalk. What I will say is that now he's down on his last legs, all of his stats are going to boost massively, as all of the bosses in this game do when they get to low health. And I kind of hate that. I kind of can't stand that. It just makes you feel so close and yet so far if you get this far in the fight, only to get bodied by 1 or 2 stray hits. So, not massively keen on that, but what can you do? Also, this incarnation of Ganon does appear as Ganondorf's final smash, replacing the bestial form of Ganon, appearing in Smash Brawl and Smash 4. So, there's the first boss of the World of Darkness that we've taken out. Like with, the World of Light, you can take out the bosses in any order. But, yeah, we are 1 of 3 steps closer to beating this dang game. Look at that lovely portal. Nice and glimmering, just how I like it. So, before we finish up, just one last little thing to do. We are first going to have a little hop over to the skill tree. Sorry, I don't edit all of these out, but I kind of want to show this off. We are able to stop ourselves from taking fall lag. We can throw better, and we can jump extra. God damn! This whole thing makes you super OP, which you need to be for this endgame. And yeah, I'm also going to do a little summoning, putting together the Metroid and the Chozo statue. Gives us a suit owned by Samus, which itself is infused with the power of a Metroid. The baby, in particular. The Fusion suit from Metroid Fusion. On top of that, by putting together a T-Rex, a beetle, and a fish, or the fish man, we get someone from Animal Crossing who loves to collect all 3 of those. The curator of the museum, Blathers.